it's very difficult to say. Again, it's very uncertain in terms of what the results will be, because a lot of factors are playing a role. And just now, literally now, both President Santos and President Zuluaga are meeting with the other candidates to see how they will decide. And finally, there was an enormous abstention, much higher than the historical media. That is, we had almost 60%, or not almost 60% abstention, which is very high for presidential elections. The media had been 50% or less, which is also very high, but 60% is just an extremely worrying data.
Do you think that the president can mobilize some of those people who stayed home for the first round?
I think he will have to. Definitely he will have to do so. And this brings me to another point, which has to do with the issues at stake during the elections and certainly in the coming years. And that has to be, that is necessarily and absolutely the peace talks in Havana, and the possibility of the country to start a post-conflict era in order to overcome more than 50 years of guerrilla violence in the country. And that is the big issue of the campaign. And President Santos will have to sell, in quotes, in a very proactive, in a very creative, and in a very attractive manner, the benefits that the peace talks and a post-conflict will bring to the country. I was very surprised when candidate Zuluaga, much sooner than expected, it's a timing issue which surprised me, that is, on Monday, one day after the election, he announced that he would suspend the talks in Havana. I thought, and many people thought, he would do that, but not exactly the same, absolutely the next day of the elections. So this shows that he and the Centro Democrático, that is the party that is supporting Zuluaga, are absolutely determined to stop, either definitely or temporarily, the peace talks.
That really surprises me, at least, and many observers from outside Colombia. We can't imagine stopping the talks and going back to a level of hostilities in which the guerrillas have been going for 50 years now. We celebrated the 50th anniversary of armed guerrilla warfare in Colombia.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
That's right.
So, yeah, it is very surprising. And in the different approaches that have taken place in the past many years, since ex-president Belisario Betancourt and onwards, this is the time when the government and guerrilla have come the farthest in terms of getting to very, not only important agreements, but very agreements on issues that are in the basis of the conflict. That is to say, the agrarian problem, political and social participation, because it not only deals with electoral participation, but also social participation and citizen participation in decision-making processes at the local level and at the national level. And the third one is drug trafficking. So we have come the farthest ever, and it would be, in my opinion, it would be an enormous loss for an opportunity loss for the country if the government and the state and the Colombian society doesn't take advantage of this.
Well, I think we agree, you and I. Now, let's see what the Colombian voters have to say. Thank you very much. We've been chatting with Elisabeth Ungar Bleier, political scientist in Colombia and the president of Transparency Colombia.